Welcome to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard.
I know you can't see it, but I'm TeeVo, and the beard is eating today.
I am.
We'd like to take the special moment to spotlight our sponsor for today's episode.
My wife's cooking.
Home cooking.
Get some.
All right, what are we having today?
Today is a Mexican rice and enchilada pie or something like that. Mexican rice is just very basic chicken-flavored Mexican rice out of a box. The enchilada pie, though, I'm not sure what all it's made out of. It's got cornbread for the bottom, and the top has ground turkey, cheese, there's cream corn in there, and other stuff, enchilada sauce, and deliciousness.
We talk about games, we talk about movies, we talk about shows. Now we're talking about food.
Exactly. But that's, of course, not why we're here today. And while I'm starting on my lunch, though, you watched Luke Cage.
I watched all of Luke Cage.
All of Luke Cage. I did not. So let's give TeeVo a little moment in the spotlight.
We're not really going to do a review. There's 13 episodes. It's a lot to review. I mean, we could maybe, if requests are open, to do an episode by episode review. That's kind of on the viewers.
Which means I will have to see it. Because I know nothing about Luke Cage or anything like that. But give our audience a little bit of a synopsis of what. Because he's not like A-list per se. Yeah. He's not in the movies or anything like that.
Well, you know, if you're going to start the Netflix Luke Cage, you know, if you watch Jessica Jones, you first met him in that. Popular question, do I have to watch Jessica Jones to get into the show? That's a yes and no.
Okay.
Luke is a very fine supporting character in Jessica Jones. So there are things that happen to him that lead into his own show. So do you have to finish Jessica Jones? No.
Right.
If you press for time, you don't want to, but you know, if you want to see Luke's arc in the show, you know.
So watch at least the first few episodes of Jessica
You'll
Jones.
have to at least get through the latter end to get to Luke. Actually, wait, hang on. Nope, sorry. You can skip a few in the middle.
Right.
But he does show up till the end of the season.
Okay.
Or at the end of class, you can just read it.
Right.
It's more of, I say you should watch it for the experience, because Jessica Jones is a fantastic show. You should watch it anyway. But, you know, if you're wanting to know.
And because all the Netflix shows do kind of tie together.
Because the Marvel, you know, movie, TV universe, these all tie in.
Right.
But we meet Luke, you know, after, you know, Jessica Jones. He's living in Harlem. And essentially wants to be left alone until, you know, forces bring him to, you know, out of the shadow, per se.
Now, what makes Luke Cage special?
He has unbreakable skin and super strength. So essentially, he's the bulletproof man. Let's see, what else can I say? It's funny how each show on Netflix has been very different.
Right.
And good. But they're its own identity. Even though they're, you know, mentions to other shows, they're mentions to the movies, they're all its own thing.
Right.
Like Daredevil is, you know, that crime show. It's like, you know, if Law and Order got a vigilante. Because it is, you know.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but yeah.
Jessica Jones is, you know, a detective show. You know, with laced in the theme of, like, trauma and, you know, trauma and stress. And Luke Cage is, you know, just that hero that doesn't want to be a hero.
Right.
You know, unlike Daredevil, you know, he doesn't want to be known. In fact, in the first episode, he's not even helping people. He's only helping people by doing his job. And by job, it's sweeping a barbershop and washing dishes. You know, he doesn't want to be in any spotlight. Right. So it's just nice to see the contrast so far. And I look forward to what they're going to do with Iron Fist coming out next year. Yeah. But overall, wow, this show, you know, obviously I wouldn't watch all episodes at one time if I didn't like it. Right. So, you know, there was an appeal to it. And I think, again, what appeals to me is that they are just so different. You know, I feel like I'm watching a different thing. But what's cool is, you know, we've already met Luke through Jessica Jones. So it was kind of nice to see more. And actually, after I was done, I was not done with the Netflix Marvel. I went back and watched a couple episodes of Jessica Jones. And it's so cool now knowing more about Luke when we first, you know, meet him in Jessica Jones. Because I remember last year when they showed Jessica Jones, it's like, oh, okay, well, I know that's Luke Cage, but, who is he?
Yeah.
And watching the show again, like, oh, yeah, I know these things about you now. It's kind of cool.
Now, chronologically, how does this fit with Jessica Jones there?
Well, obviously, it's after Jessica Jones.
Okay.
So, it's not like he does something before Jessica Jones in this.
Right. Well, I wasn't sure if this was like a, not prequel, really, but
no.
Like an origin story.
You get, like, an episode where it explains, how he got his powers and all that stuff.
Which we won't ruin in case people want to see it.
Like I said, reactionary, not a review.
Yeah.
But it runs, I would say the timeline runs concurrently with Daredevil Season 2.
Okay.
But again, you don't have to watch. Again, you should, but you don't have to if you want to get into the show. But I like to think, if you're watching Luke Cage, I think you've seen at least Daredevil.
Right. Yeah.
But again, if it's your first show, then it's a good show to start with. You're gonna get lost at a couple references, but but thankfully they're still on Netflix. So you're thinking, oh, I don't know what that is. Well, let's go watch the other shows.
Well, like we've discussed before, the MCU is very good from the movies, TV shows, Netflix shows about when they make references. If you don't get it, it's not going to ruin the thing for you. But if you do get it, you'll be sitting there like Captain America going, okay, I get that.
There were many actually in Luke Cage like, oh, God, that's awesome. Won't get into them because, again, 13 hours, a lot of references. I can only remember so many, but they were there. It's awesome. So Luke Cage, Power Man, I give you stamp of approval. Watch it.
Now, before we get into our main show here.
The main event?
Yeah, the last thing with Luke Cage there. Gun to your head. If you had to rank the 3 current Netflix MCU shows...
I have already thought of that.
I figured you had.
And I'm going to rank them by season. So with Daredevil, we have 2. And I thought of it last night afterwards.
Okay. I
think I put Daredevil Season 1 at the top. Because, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like the first Iron Man, it has a special place in my heart because the first one out of the gate like that.
It sets the standard.
Yeah, it did set the standard. It was like, okay, we got the movies, but, it's going to be well, as far as we knew, it's going to be 13 hours. So, they're going to explain things a lot more in depth in the movies. We already had a TV show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but it's on Netflix now. If they wanted to make a network show, they would have put it on network. So, obviously, it's going to be darker. And, it
literally is.
It did all that. Second, I'd say... Jessica Jones Season 1.
Okay.
Just because, big fan of Kristen Ritter.
Right.
I've been since I first saw her. Actually, her first big work. But, I like that it was such a contrast from Daredevil,
Yeah.
She doesn't fight as well. She barely even fights at all.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting.
It's more psychological.
It was. Then I'd put Luke Cage.
Okay.
And then after that, Season 2 Daredevil.
Makes
and
sense,
if like you said, if I had to choose an order for them, that would be it. Not to saying, oh, Luke Cage is not as good,
right?
So and so, or Daredevil Season 2 sucked. It was, if I had to choose, the feeling I got when I was watching each season, that would be the order of them.
And that makes sense. And I do like how I haven't seen Luke Cage yet, but I do like how they're not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
It's not that Jessica Jones is just a female version of Daredevil or something like that, or Luke Cage is the strong black guy version of Jessica Jones.
Yeah, they all have their things, and they just feel so. It's just so cool how they're just its own show.
Right.
So stamp approval. Go watch it.
Awesome.
A lot of people are already doing that, so you should be too.
Yeah,
but you don't have to watch all 13. I'm not saying that, but just in general, watch it, people. And speaking of people, I looked at our view count for the last 2 episodes. Man,
I know.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you all.
I knew once we started doing the real show.
Yeah, once people started, something that they were familiar with. Because we were kind of here, there, and everywhere before.
Except for the Suicide Squad one.
Except for,
So if you're the people that watch that, thanks for that one. But man, the last one, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
Fans. Brought to you by fans.
Brought to you by fans, and that's exactly because without fans, we're just sitting here talking to each other, and
which thankfully we'd already be doing, but now you can be a part of it.
Right, yeah, and feel free to leave comments, stuff like that. If you want us to talk about certain things more, if you have...
Or less.
Or less, or if you have theories about stuff and think that we're completely wrong, let us know. Politely, please, but let us know. Yes. But that was our spoiler-free part of this show. Of course, now we're going to head into spoiler territory. Because,
which you should already know.
Right, because we're going to meet the boss.
Meet the boss.
In this week's episode of, or last week's episode, excuse me, of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So we get to the second episode now, and it takes place pretty much right after the first one.
Yeah.
The episode, like the Beard said, meet the boss. So naturally we're thinking, all right, we're finally going to meet the director.
Right.
I mentioned last week how I was really hoping they would just come right out the gate and just say who he is.
Right.
Didn't necessarily happen.
No. We have a name, though.
We have a name. His name's Jeffrey. I like how the internet is jumping the gun a lot, because I watched it again. I was like, did I see like a name tag that I missed? Could have, or a nameplate, but they've already pretty much said who he is.
Jeffrey Mace.
Jeffrey Mace.
Right. If you watch it with closed captions, he is called Mace by one of the little peons.
Okay.
But it's like very quick.
Okay. I was looking for like I was looking for like a name tag the second time around. I did not watch it with closed caption. I will say that.
But that's the thing is, the MCU does sometimes use names or people that we're familiar with and then do their own spin on it.
Yeah.
So is this the same Jeffrey Mace from the 1940s?
So
Captain
Jeffrey
America?
Mace, for people who were confused, like probably a lot of people. The show definitely picks people that you don't normally know.
Right.
Which makes it great, because they can do their own spin, and you're not going to be hurt by it, because, they're ruining a classic character.
Yeah, if they would have chosen Steve Rogers to be the director and not use Chris Evans, people would have been up in arms.
So not many people know Jeffrey Mace, who essentially was a Captain America. I think that was the draw of the character.
Yeah.
They changed his origin, because I read his origin from the comics. He is just a straight-up guy who can do cool things, as in, like, I can punch real hard and jump real hard. Yay. Yeah. They changed it this time. He is inhuman with super strength.
Right. Because he was, in the comics, he was basically like the original Captain America, just a super soldier.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, because he takes Captain America's place when he's frozen.
Yes. So I thought that was a pretty cool... Okay, so now that I know it's really official.
Yeah.
But then again, by the powers of Google, there are very few characters that fit the description anyway. So, I was wondering, did they say it? Because, like when they were doing, they leaked the audition pieces for Ghost Rider. There were only so many people in the Marvel Universe that fit... We're looking for two brothers. One's disabled and one's, rough.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wow, that's the new Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
There's only so many people that can fit that description. So, with knowing his first name at least, and knowing what they said about, his background before they revealed it, there's only so many characters he could have been.
Yeah.
Bar from being original. But what did you think of Jason O'Mara and the director?
I don't like him, but I like that I don't like him. Because I think you're kind of meant to not like him. You're meant to not trust him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got the feeling you're meant to like him, but not trust him.
Okay.
Because he seems very friendly in the way of like, okay, well, I feel like I can talk to you, but
he seems very friendly in like the way a retail manager is friendly. I'm using air quotes here.
Yeah. To
their employees. So it's that very fake friendliness, like when he gives Coulson the job of giving the tour to he was kind of demeaning him. Right, it was like, oh, well, you know the most about the S.H.I.E.L.D. history here, so you should do this. Because, like, what else are you good for? So let me just let you give the history tour. And it's like, oh, I bet Coulson can even tell you guys when this building was built. And he says it. And he did. And he's like, I told you. But it was that very, like, how you talk to, like, I bet my 3-year-old can count to 5, sort of way. But speaking of that dynamic, we do find out that Coulson wasn't demoted. Yes. He actually stepped down. Yeah. So, which I thought was kind of interesting. Did you have an opinion?
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting fact.
Mm-hmm.
I think, well, it was kind of the one where like, okay, that was interesting. I hope we know more about it. So I don't think I have an opinion really until maybe they touch up more on that, or maybe they won't. You know, maybe just, well, I could see, you know, they keep saying because he's technically still dead in the public eye.
Right.
You can't be the face of a, you know. Well, you know, it's the ever classic, you know, oh, wow, this, you know, S.H.I.E.L.D's back. You know, they were recently infiltrated by Hydra, and, oh, they can regenerate dead people.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're not really going to trust them, though.
Yeah. So, you know, I could probably, you know, if they don't touch more, it's probably it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And the fact that they specifically chose an Inhuman to be the face of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Let's see. Let's start. Let's touch upon the Ghost.
Yes.
And we're not talking about Ghost Rider.
No,
not yet. At least.
Not yet, but we will because he was prominent in this episode.
He's and I'm liking that he's pretty much going to be prominent in the season. So, like we said a couple episodes prior, we hope he's not going to be like the last of it, where it's like, yes, we see him. Oh, whoop, he's gone for a while,
and then we won't see him for like 6 episodes.
Yeah. So I like that this time. Yep, he is.
Yeah, because we see Robbie and Ghost Rider. But yeah, we'll get into that. The Ghost, we find out...
Like last week, you know, when the episode titled The Ghost. And naturally everybody thinks, oh, it's Ghost Rider.
Right.
No, there is an actual ghost. And in this one, there are more ghosts.
Or at least we still assume they're ghosts. We're not 100% sure if it's something scientific or if it's something...
I love how you're speaking like Fitzsimmons.
Yeah. Because it is. We're not sure how... they're going to fit Doctor Strange into
I think
this.
So far they laid a pretty good groundwork. I don't know if you caught that, but they were mentioning the Darkhold, which is essentially, you know, a magical evil book. Yeah. So while the debate is still whether they're ghosts, you know, they're definitely something supernatural now. Yeah. And I love the throwback to season 1. Did you catch that when they were talking about? Remember the episode where they had that mission where they were trying to save that girl who kept having really bad things happen around her? Yeah. They mentioned that when
I did miss that, okay.
When Simmons was like, when they were trying to analyze the air quotes ghost. Yeah. And she's like, well, maybe it's like, you know, when Tobias Ford. That was the episode. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, deep cut right there.
Yes! To those who really watch the show, you would get it, and I did.
Yeah, there you go. They did that line for
but that
you.
was but you know, it's a natural thing to assume because that was the first, you know, episode that kind of delved into that supernatural.
Yeah, because most of the Marvel universe, both movies and TV shows, have been grounded in the real world.
Yes, except for Asgard.
Yeah,
but even then, when they go to Asgard, they just explain it like that's their real world. Like it's like no, it's just
Asgard science.
Yeah, duh.
You mean you don't have this?
You don't know
your whole town's not a supercomputer?
You don't know these things? Oh wow.
Yeah, your computers are like basic math to us.
But it was nice to do a callback again. You know, like I said, I love when you do callbacks.
And we find out that these ghosts are pissed.
Yes.
Because...
But I think they're playing the angle of, like, you know, the first episode illustrated, at least the first one. Bad guy. Maybe they're not really the bad guy.
Right.
So there's a popular fan theory right now, which makes sense with Robbie's origins. And I you know, I dig it. I would think it's pretty cool. So how Robbie got his powers, he's not possessed by the spirit of vengeance like the famous Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. He's possessed by his satanic uncle.
He has the devil in him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they're making it so vague right now that I think it's kind of cool. So we don't know how he got his powers. And it's definitely sounding like the Johnny Blaze version of Ghost Rider. But so far, it's, you know, hey, whatever.
But we know he's not inhuman, and don't you dare call him inhuman.
To detract from what I was going with earlier, I did like that. I like, she's like, you're inhuman. It's okay. I know what you're going through. He's like, what? No, not.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like she... called him some slur or something, something like that. It's like, how dare you call me inhuman?
Like a hipster when you don't want to be called a hipster.
That's too close to home there.
Yep. But and then later on when, you know, Mac and Fitz, you know, see the Ghost Rider, they're like, you're an inhuman friend. She's like, oh, he's not inhuman.
Yeah.
He's like, what is he? I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Just like we're not really sure what these ghosts are.
Yes.
But they were either killed or created by, quote-unquote, him.
Yes.
Which, I think they want us to assume they mean Ghost Rider.
Yes. And a lot of people are pegging that him, the person they're very angry at, they're very angry at the main lady of the ghost group.
Yeah, because her plan is to get the book.
Yes.
And that's her plan.
Yes. A lot of people are thinking that him is Robbie's uncle.
Okay.
And that's because at the end of the episode, we see that, he's kind of putting pieces together.
Yeah.
And he assumes and feels like it's all tied to him.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing Robbie's origins and knowing they're definitely heading into supernatural, a lot of people were pegging that, which I'm thinking, hey, that'd be awesome.
I think that would work a lot better story-wise than it being Robbie directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, these ghosts are so mad they're willing to destroy.
So is he.
Everything.
So is he.
Yeah.
Because, so far, we're in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the Ghost Rider, and I like that they're fleshing out Robbie. They're not just making out...
No pun intended there.
Yes. Well, yes, there we go. Well, they're not just, making Ghost Rider just the main spectacle.
Right.
It's not like, ooh, watch it for Ghost Rider. It's like, yeah, you should, but, get to know the guy behind the Flaming Skull.
Yeah, because the episode kind of...
We see Ghost Rider for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Minute, max. But it was okay. It was like, we got what we wanted in the first episode. Now we learn more about Robbie.
Right.
So when the Ghost Rider happens, it's just so natural instead of like, ooh, look at it, guys. Look at what we're doing.
Yeah. And Daisy learns a lot about Robbie. I don't know if she cracked into his Facebook or whatever, but she finds out about like what school he went to, about friends and stuff like that.
That's where the original character of being a hacker comes into play.
Because she's at his work talking to his coworkers and
spitting out.
She's known him forever.
Yep. But the mistake was mentioning his little brother.
Yep. Yeah, don't mention his little brother.
Unless it's like, hey, your little brother's a very nice kid. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not in the menacing, I might hurt him kind of way.
Right.
Because he is the Ghost Rider. He will hurt you back.
Yeah.
And he did.
Mm-hmm. I do kind of go towards the beginning of the episode. I like how Quake really reveals what she can do in a very subtle way. Because she's there to get the van fixed.
Right.
And he fixes it. And then she quakes it.
Yes.
But is it that sort of subtle way? It's kind of like flexing your muscles where you're not actually beating somebody up. You're just showing them, hey, I can do this.
Yeah. But on the downside is hurting her.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Yeah, the ghost, I like that aspect so far.
Mm-hmm.
If it is not Robbie's uncle, that's him.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously we're in episode 2 of a 22 episode,
mm-hmm.
season. So, we're not, I don't think we're going to get the bulk of the answers.
Oh, yeah.
Right away.
No, we'll be left on a nice cliffhanger come the end of the first half, I'm sure.
I have a feeling that, we won't know anything until the latter half after
mm-hmm.
2017. So, but the ride is good for now.
The Marvel is good for not throwing everything at us at once.
Yes.
But also, speaking of the ghosts, we do find out that the effect that they have on you is lingering.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if they're still in your vicinity or not.
And I like how it's not just just Asian people affecting.
Right. Yeah, that is true.
Well, it's just in the first episode, it seemed like the only people it was affecting was Asian people. It was like, all right, well, if they're gonna tie it in that way, okay, fine.
Well, maybe the woman that is the first ghost was racist.
Maybe.
And she was purposely just affecting Asian people.
But we see that either she's racist and affecting Asian people, and also affecting people who live in her home now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the first, that was kind of I like the first scene, the first scene before the credits roll and everything. Mm-hmm. It's very horror movie-esque.
It was.
The little kid wakes up and sees a ghost and, and just... It was pretty cool.
And I totally thought that was like a flashback. We were getting Robbie's story.
Yes.
With that, but...
Nope.
Yeah, they threw us for
It was happening right now.
Mm-hmm. And I like that S.H.I.E.L.D. can still do that. Throw us for loops like that.
Yeah. But, and as speaking of loops, like I said, it's kind of going on the notion of like, are these ghosts the bad guy?
Right.
Or actually, the show is really good about that. Kind of red herring or throwing us for a loop on who the quote quote bad guy is.
Yeah, it's not always like Hive where we know this is a bad guy. He's trying to do bad things.
But like last season with Lash, a whole half season. We're led to believe, oh my god, Lash is the bad guy.
Yeah,
we got to stop Lash, and then
he even looked like a monster.
Yeah, and then you go, oh no, he was just doing good in very extreme ways, but
right, yeah,
he was very good. Well, I'm also glad that they're not making Ghost Rider in that same vein of like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
Yeah,
I like that so far as we've seen. He's pretty much, they're protagonizing him.
Right. Yeah. Very anti-hero sort of thing,
but not like, oh god, he's the bad guy.
Right. Yeah. At least not yet. Yeah.
Well, at least not to. I don't think to us or to Daisy.
Right.
Obviously the S.H.I.E.L.D. members who've met him probably have something else to say about it so far.
Yeah, because I'm sure they're going to associate him with the ghost and with the stuff that May is going through.
Yeah, and Daisy being on the run.
And Daisy,
that's not helping both their cases.
Yeah, because these two are getting caught together, so it's gonna.
And now
there's going to be an association.
And now they really are together now. So
yeah,
they're Bonnie and Clyde it right now.
They are. Yeah.
Because
Daisy had a moment where she could have gone back with Mac and Fitz.
Yes.
But chose not to. And I'm glad they did that.
Yes. And going back to Mac and Fitz, I love how he still calls him Turbo.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that, like callbacks to the first season, just callbacks to things that have happened to these characters.
Yeah.
Because
it gives the sense that during the time when it wasn't on, that there was still stuff going on. They still had a relationship within the universe.
They're still characters. And, they're still the characters we know and love. And that's why, I did have someone ask me who doesn't watch S.H.I.E.L.D., but knows that the Ghost Rider is on the season. He's like, should I start watching? I was like, I mean, you can, but I would honestly say, like, you might get a little lost.
Yeah, there's no way to enjoy season 4 as your very first season with nothing behind you.
Because even with you just watching Ghost Rider scenes, you're going to be wondering who this Daisy is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, I guess, from a standpoint. If you're,
but when they mention like Inhumans, you're not going to get that. There, you have no frame of reference for what Inhumans are because they are different than mutants.
Yeah, so watch the show, and the beauty of it is, sure, the Ghost Rider is like the marquee character of the season, but we still like the people we have grown to like.
Yeah.
But going to May now, because you mentioned May. Well, that didn't take very long.
No.
I thought that was going to be a slow burn for a few episodes. Nope.
No, the ghost is infecting her fast now. So much so that she even starts fighting Coulson.
That was
and Coulson does pretty good. I really thought May would take him out.
I can't wait for that's something they haven't played with. I can't wait for because you could tell he was he held his own, of course, but he wasn't trying to fight back.
No, because he even tells that when other people are trying to help, he's like, no, don't hurt her. She's sick.
Yeah, that would be I would like to see that one day.
Yeah,
just
like a full-on May Coulson.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know who was gonna switch sides or get possessed or actually it's quite possible now with Ghost.
Yeah,
but just I want to that just kind of opened the window. I was like, man, what these two look like if they just brawled?
Yeah,
I want to see that. But yes, she is sick, and how we learned that the director is Inhuman
is he takes her.
He
picks her up.
Well, just the first off, because you see her take on her team, you see her take on Coulson, and they're holding their own, but they're getting thrown around.
Yeah, and in the last episode we already mentioned our kind of disrespect for the team, except for the girl. Yeah, because they look like they could easily be thrown around, and she proves it,
and they did. Yeah, so it's like, man, I hope that the director was watching. He took note of that, going, so if you're a leader, can toss you around. Yeah. Maybe we should switch some of you out.
Yeah, you go to the lab.
Yeah. Just be the guy who picks stuff up for Fitzsimmons.
Exactly.
There you go. Yay.
Yeah, you're still part of the team.
And going back to that's probably what that kind of retail manager would do.
Yeah.
So
you still work for the company. You're just gonna be working at a lower part.
But except for Piper, I'm like, yeah, you guys switch out.
Yeah.
I see like Piper as like her number 2 of the team. Like maybe, hopefully, if they develop that character, you know, if May's out, which is now.
Yeah.
Then she can lead the team. She could be the temporary May.
Yeah, because the director, I mean, just.
But yeah, how we find out the director is not a normal person.
Yeah.
So, you know, she is wailing on her teammates, throwing them back. And, you know, she sees the director and just smacks him, and he...
and nothing happens.
And just even, not even... I love that not even did nothing happen, but the look on his face of like, come on, please.
Yeah.
I mean, he actually says it, May, please.
Yeah.
And we're just like, okay.
Because he doesn't flinch, doesn't go back even, not even like, you know.
He even looks at her in like a feel sorry kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, a wall would have moved back further than he did.
While she is like completely wailing on him.
Yeah.
And then, again, like you said, picks her up.
One-handed. Just.
Yeah. So that's when we're like, all right, well.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she even said something, and he said, I prefer Inhuman.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that's all. That's
Very
all,
subtle way of bringing it up there.
That solves that.
Yeah. And then he needs her incapacitated, so just bops her head on the wall and knocks her out. Which actually had me worried for a minute, because it looked like he, like, knocked her out by doing that, like, end of May right there.
And then we see... You know, she is going somewhere we do not know.
Yeah, tied up in a straitjacket, just...
and looking crazy. But, you know, I guess it was her turn. I don't know if I was saying this to you last week or something, but, you know, something bad has happened to pretty much each character every season. Except really for May.
Right.
Like, something bad happened in a flashback.
Right.
And, you know, like, you know, you could say the Andrew thing was something very bad, but nothing, like...
But it wasn't like Fitz's brain damage or, you know...
Simmons trapped on the planet, Quake, you know...
Quake about everything that's happened to her lately.
And, you know, Coulson in the first, you know, season getting kidnapped in the season finale.
And hand getting cut off.
Yes. So, nothing terrible's happened.
Yeah.
To May. Yeah, so I'm thinking, it's your turn.
Yeah.
They're like, it's your turn.
Yeah, because last season when she got incapacitated for, you know, a couple episodes, that really wasn't much. I mean, she stayed in the hospital bed. She was unhappy about it, but she got over it.
Yeah, this one's gonna be part of that.
And it's all because she was too prideful right when it happened to admit to Coulson, hey, something's wrong. Let's go ahead and take care of it, me and you, before other people had to get involved.
Yes. Let's see, what else happened there? Like, oh, going back, man, Fitz is such a man now.
Yeah.
You remember when, and I love the shotgun axe made an appearance.
Yeah.
But you remember...
No exploding pin yet, though.
No, but no exploding pin. I feel like that's going to come in handy some other time. But I love, like, when they're being attacked by the ghost. You know, Mac has his shotgun axe full ready. Yeah. And then Fitz just pulled it out of his soul. It was not like...
He's just been carrying that around the whole time.
I love that it wasn't like a scared kind where, you know, like maybe season 1 Fitz or season 2 Fitz would have done.
Right.
You know, he was like, oh God, I had to pull this out. Like, no... You know, a bump in the night was heard. Yeah. And he just pulls it out. Yeah. Like, nope.
It was that very James Bondish move that he has now.
It was just like, nope, not going to be a victim.
Yeah.
Me and Mac.
Fitz is looking out for Fitz now.
Me and Mac, we're going to take care. We could take care of this right here.
Right, yeah. End of the season, Fitz and Mac take care of it all.
Yeah, it's just like, man, Fitz is becoming a man.
And he even talks back to Mac, because I like when he's, you know, hacking into the computer, and Mac keeps questioning him about things, and he's like, just shut up. If you stop talking to me, I can get this done. Yep. It's like, you know, Mac could, like, you know, stomp on you, no problem, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't stop new Fitz.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop man Fitz.
Right. Yeah, first season Fitz would have explained everything to Mac, and everything would have
This ain't no kid Fitz anymore. This is man Fitz.
But they do kind of put that back in perspective when Mac gets trapped behind the door and Fitz is trying to get him out, and Mac's like, yeah, I wish we were kind of in opposite spots here.
It still reminds you, you know, their relationship. Yeah. You know, and the dynamics of them. Yeah. But,
because it might be manly Fitz, but he's still small Scottish guy. Yeah. You know?
It's just, again, love progression in characters. You gotta love that. Yeah. But yeah, going forward and backwards a little bit, you know, to Daisy. Yeah. We're on Mac and Fitz right now. You know, that scene, you know, like you said, when they were trying to, you know, get her to just come back. Yeah. And man, they really love making Henry Simmons cry.
Yeah, they do.
So I guess they just find there's a novelty, and
I think the writers have like a betting pool going on.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, who can make him cry this week?
yes, but you know, you got that emotional scene, and we get it because you know for last season that was like his partner.
Yeah,
So you can see where he was involved. But you know, when Fitz just outright said, you know, like, you know, basically, why are you trying?
Right.
She doesn't care. You know,
Yeah.
we all had terrible things happen. We didn't run away like her. So
Yeah.
what's the
and
point?
this is coming from a guy who had brain damage for like half of the season.
And then the one person who kept her secret when she became Quake.
Yeah.
You know, and along with he was there when they picked her up. They had a year together without
Yeah.
Mac. You know, they were. You know,
Yeah.
they were buddies. So to basically hear Fitz saying, you know what, if you don't care about us, why should we care about you?
Right.
In that sense, you know, not in like that brashes away, but
basically, and I love that they did that because when, of course, we see that when Fitz is about to be touched by one of the ghosts.
Yeah.
Robbie saves Fitz in that moment, and that's when we see Quake. And I so thought, because I went to basic TV tropes, not Whedon TV tropes, and I thought this was going to be the big, everybody hug and happy ending sort of thing. Daisy's back, but I'm glad it went the
they
Whedon
probably had a little hug.
Yeah, but I'm glad it went the Whedon way of, you think everything's going to end happy and Daisy's coming back to S.H.I.E.L.D., but no, we're going to stay our separate tracks.
But I think in a character sense, I think she feels that Robbie's closer to finding all this out than S.H.I.E.L.D., so naturally the person to follow at this moment, Robbie. So.
And she, ever
and I did like going back to when Robbie saved Fitz. I love the ghost like, "What are you?" and then because he's grabbing him.
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm a ghost. I'm not supposed to be grabbed." And then he lights up and becomes Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Fitz just concurs. Yeah. What are you?
Yeah. But yeah. Hold on.
Hi. Okay. But yeah, it was just the what are you?
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense for her to follow Robbie.
Right, yeah.
So
and also, one thing that has stayed with Daisy ever since, we first saw her as Sky is she does have that curiosity, especially when it comes to, Inhumans, superhumans, whatever they want to call themselves, from like episode 1.
Yes.
She kind of shows that, and she's still showing that with Robbie / Ghost Riders.
Yeah.
Even if she was trying to find out more about herself and everything, I think she would still follow. Even if it was Sky, she would still be following Robbie, trying to find out what his past is, why he can do what he does.
Yes. And what are you?
And what are you?
Not an inhuman. Don't call him
not an inhuman.
I like how he was slightly offended, but just also utterly confused by that word.
Yeah.
He's like...
Because I imagine within that universe, it's not that common of a word yet. It's not like metahuman in the DCU.
Yeah.
You only get called inhuman if you either are one and you know it, or you're part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's really the only times we hear it talked about. Now, I'm sure it will be talked about more since S.H.I.E.L.D. now has an Inhuman director, and, they're going to be made public.
Yes.
But yeah, right now he was just like, I don't know what that is, but I'm highly offended by you calling me that.
Let's see. Last thoughts. We cannot say we'll have to wait till next week, because we are not waiting till next week.
Right, unless somebody is
not
going,
for at least this show.
Right, yeah, unless somebody is going to New York Comic Con and ends up seeing the next episode there, because they are showing it. Most people will have to deal with, I think it's the vice president debate is what's interrupting.
Is that what's
Show Tuesday? Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were just making room for DC to,
It might be a combination.
It's like, we have that, and, DC, all the DC shows are starting.
We're definitely more concerned about the DC shows than we are about, political things.
Yes.
But yeah, any last words on Meet the Boss?
Hey, this season's shaping out to be a really good one.
Yeah, it really is. There hadn't really been any lows in my opinion. I mean, there's stuff that I don't like seeing happen, but I like that there's stuff I don't like seeing happen, because it's not supposed to all be, kittens and unicorns in there. You're not supposed to like everything going on. So the fact that I don't like the director, I like that. The fact that I don't like how they're treating May, I like that.
I guess for me, I like that he's got that quality, but I like that he's not just that's someone you obviously shouldn't like.
Right.
Because I like that he smiles. I like that he's friendly.
There is some gray area in there. Yeah, he's
but
definitely
I like,
not Hive.
But yeah, I like that it's not like, oh boy, he's that mean old boss.
Yeah, he's not Hive, but he's not Coulson.
Yeah.
You know?
So I like, going with that aspect of the director. I like that about it so far.
Yeah, and I do view him slightly differently in episode 2, knowing now that Coulson stepped down versus was taken down.
Yes.
So, because now I can't dislike the new director because of that.
Yes.
It's not his fault.
And he even said it.
Yeah.
He even said it, when Coulson was giving a pushback.
Yeah.
And he's like, you chose to.
Yeah.
Kind of putting that in his face, like, you chose.
Yeah, because Coulson still wants to do directory things, because that's what he's used to now. Yeah. But
at least he wants to do better agent stuff.
Yeah, higher agent, Not giving the tour.
I think that's why he was so happy being under Director Fury. Was, he wasn't in charge, but he was a very big player.
Right, because ABC couldn't afford Samuel L. Jackson for every episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, he's definitely feeling, I guess what we touched on it, last episode, how Coulson feels, and I think that's knowing, more about it in this episode. It's like, I don't mind not being the director.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said I want to step down if I truly minded.
Yeah.
What I do mind is doing errands.
Yeah.
That's where we're losing me.
Yeah. One more thing I got to bring up, because I would be a really bad fan if I didn't. I'm wondering if something Coulson said during the tour was a gentle jab at the cancellation of Agent Carter.
The whole line of there's so much more we haven't seen.
Yeah, there's so many untold stories of Peggy Carter.
Yep.
I was like, that's like a punch in ABC's face.
Probably.
Face right there.
A lot of people picked up on that.
Yeah.
And probably so.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, it was still great to hear.
It was a great line, because he said Peggy Carter about 3 or 4 times within 2 minutes of the tour there.
Yep. So that concludes Meet the Boss.
Yep.
Next week we'll be back, but we will not be back with S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, we'll be back in the DC universe.
We both will definitely be talking about The Flash.
Right.
I think I will watch Supergirl.
You've got to. Yeah.
Did you see the Superhero Fight Club?
I did.
Why do they... You watched the first season, all of it.
Yeah.
Why is Supergirl so giddy?
The whole Fight Club thing. I had to watch it.
I know that's not part of the show.
Yeah, but still, I had to watch it twice because I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Why are you so giddy?
Yeah.
And why didn't you crush that whole room anyway?
Right.
Because you kind of should have.
Right. Yeah.
How is the White Canary getting better shots than you?
Yeah.
But hey, I don't watch Legends, so I don't know what she can do. But I know that you're a Kryptonian, and you're kind of godlike.
Yeah, I'm curious on if the CW is going to change some of Supergirl or some of Kyra,
Supergirl.
Kay.
They can say that correctly.
Yeah, Supergirl. If they're going to change some of her personality to fit in the CW verse.
I didn't think of that. I just thought, man, she's just very too in the rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah.
Attitudes. Yeah.
Because she was in the CBS version. She was positive.
Yeah.
But she was still very relatable. This almost seems cartoony.
Yeah,
that we saw.
Yeah, that kind of.
And they could have just been playing it for that, and
they could have. Yeah. I mean, like we said, it wasn't the show.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was something that they did because we now own all these people and we can do this sort of thing.
But I hope that that's not going to be because this seems too. It just seems so much. Even in that 2-3 minute clip, it was like, well, wow, this is. Yeah, everybody is literally unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah,
even Cisco and Martian Manhunt, everything was unicorns and rainbows. I was like, wow. Can we bring some darkness?
Maybe that is kind of like their final happy spot before we get into the rebirth here.
But,
or whatever
but I will watch Supergirl to give it a chance. You know, with the new network, and like you said, maybe they will change some things I didn't like about it, or maybe amplify it. Hopefully not. Yeah,
I'm just hoping that they take the good stuff that CBS did and keep that. They don't just try to start it all over.
Yeah,
but
at the same time, don't mod it too much to where it's got to be like so-and-so shows.
Right.
I hope, but you own all these shows, so I hope you know these characters.
Yeah.
That's really it. Just know the character.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious how they're going to do Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so
and
at least
not make it a Superman show.
Because so far it's like, why is it still called Super? I watched the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this still called Supergirl?
Yeah.
Why can't we call it Super?
Yeah, just call it Super. Just
because it looked, made it think when they cast him, it was like, okay, he's gonna pop up here and there.
Right.
That first preview was like, so whose show is this now?
Yeah, if that's any indication of where things are going, then I'm just gonna cross my fingers.
And by the way, it's like, well, why didn't you invite Superman to the Superhero Fight Club?
Yeah.
He would have took care of everything.
Yeah.
You might need a new building.
It wouldn't have been a 3-minute clip then.
Would not have been.
Yeah.
It would have been like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah.
See you guys later.
Yep.
But at least for the first week, I guess I'll go week by week with Supergirl. What about you?
Yeah.
Do you have like a set amount you're gonna commit?
Not really, just because
the first season you were pretty.
Well, yeah, the first season I got to see the first episode before it even aired on TV.
Right.
And then I went on Amazon and bought the first season before it even aired.
Won't do that again, will you?
No, I won't. I won't do that. Not that I regret buying the first season, but I definitely wish I would have just waited and bought certain episodes.
Yeah. Or at least watched a few more to,
Right, yeah. But also because it came on CBS and because of my work schedule, it made it easier to see.
Yes.
Since I had bought, but now that it's going to be on CW and Hulu,
yeah,
I can watch it that way.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I'm going week by week. So for those of you wanting to hear Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow, I'm sorry.
Find somewhere else.
You're going to have to listen to someone else.
Yeah. I might peek at Legends of Tomorrow.
That's pure the beard.
Yeah. But I'm not even promising I'm going to say anything on here about it, I might just be like, hey, that was a, cool.
So when you see like the picture on the video, it's mostly going to be the Flash logo.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And sorry, Stephen Amell.
Yeah. If they do a crossover on the Flash, then we might incorporate different logos on.
And that's sometimes iffy for me, because sometimes when they do that, I don't necessarily watch it.
Right, yeah.
That's happened before. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've still never seen the first season, Flash vs. Arrow. Still never seen it. I was told it does not have anything to do with the current storyline, so I was thinking, well then, I'm okay.
It was CW's way of reminding everybody we own both properties.
Yes. They did say there will be a massive 4-episode crossover. Yeah, I might watch that, but I might just watch mine.
I'm setting the bar so low for it. The bar is actually laying on the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might watch the first 2 nights. Mm-hmm. And then I'll use the old Wikipedia for the rest.
Yeah. So
brought to you by the internet. Thank goodness we have it.
Exactly. So yeah,
that's about it.
So that wraps it up for this week, and we'll see you next week.